when you hear these leaders are very sick.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Catherine. This tragedy strikes the LAPD. The coronavirus has taken the life of an officer. He had been fighting for his life since May. Here is live outside St. John's Hospital in Santa Monica, where the officer lost his life.
From this day forward, a new vision will govern our land. From this day forward, it's going to be America first. America first. And only America first. And I say, really, you know what I am? I'm a nationalist, okay? I'm a nationalist.
Welcome back. Happy New Year. Come one, come all to another edition. Thought the break would fix it, guys. Another edition of Outside the Overton. I am Joshua Vandernoor, joined, of course, as always, on Outside the Overton by...
I am here. I am here. Okay. We didn't break up. Me and Josh didn't break up. I know there was rumors. There was a lot of rumors going out, Josh, that me and you broke up.
Little cat
something.
fighting.
I don't know.
You know,
we had a little divorce or something. I don't know.
It's been reported that outside... Why am I so tiny?
I'll have to change the lens real quick. Go ahead, take it.
That Outside the Overton is canceled. This is not the case. We are simply, for those of you that can't get it through your thick heads, instead of Monday through Friday, we are only on Tuesdays. We're taking on the new American vision, and in doing so, we have a lot of projects. You know, Zeb, he's doing his own show now every Monday through Friday, so you're going to be getting plenty of Zeb. I'm on 4 of the 5 shows that are already on the New American Vision Network. We got a lot going on. And honestly, I'm not going to lie to you guys. When we kind of took a little bit of a break over the holidays, and in the back of my mind, I was a little concerned. I was like, man, I hope we don't kind of lose that drive that kind of got us into the New American Vision. Now I know Atlas, John, Zeb, and myself aren't going to stop creating content, but in terms of the 4 of us coming together to create the New American Vision, I was a little bit like, I hope the energy carries over into 2026. But honestly, after talking with the guys, after meeting Atlas Thugged in person, the power is with us, dude. I'm feeling the zing. I didn't even have a Celsius. I had 0 Celsius today, Zeb, because 2025 was the year of the N. 2026 is the year of the wasp. That's what's going on, dude.
Is that how we're doing it?
That's how we're doing it, man.
Oh, I am glad to be here. Glad to be back. I'm gonna have to fix those cameras. But yeah, real quick, we'll run through the list and then we'll go into a here. Let me just do this. We'll go here for a second, then I'll fix cameras. Running through the list, we got a lot. We're gonna move the schedule around. It's gonna be weekdays at 3 o'clock. You're going to have a show every weekday at 3 o'clock, 3 to 4, 4:30, and then we're going to work in some members content on the back of that. So you say, what's the other show that you're going to add, right? We're going to move Sunday to Monday. So we're going to Sunday show at 4 to Monday at 3. We're going to have Outside the Overton at 3. We're going to have Faction, or that's Tuesday, Factions at 3. On Wednesday, we're going to have Thursday, we're going to have Real Talk is going to be released at 3. What are y'all covering this week?
Oh, shoot. I edited it like a week ago and I already forgot. I will let you know.
Factions is going to be, I think we're covering the Bongino type situation, the question of this great MAGA war that's going on right now. And then Friday, it's going to be a show with me and Atlas, and we're going to be covering the most popular clips or podcast of the week, kind of talking through that, going through that, I guess, to give a little bit of I can't spoil it this week on what it is, but I'm going to clown on people, okay? Atlas is going to be all serious. I'm going to clown on people. That's how it works. That's what I do, Josh. I try to clown on people.
I'm excited for that show.
But yeah, what are we talking about today?
What are we talking about today? I guess since we my perpetual cough, since it's been a while since our last edition of Outside the Overton, we were thinking just kind of doing, what did we miss? What's been going on? Now, obviously, I've been gone on vacation, and Zeb, he's been kind of holding down the fort, doing his own show. He's been covering a lot of the big stories that hit while we were away. Hot damn. Outside the Overton, brought to you by Halls. White nationalism and Christian nationalism and tongue twisters brought to you by Halls. Halls cough drops. But what are we talking about? We're going to be talking about Nick Shirley, Benjamin Netanyahu, and a whole lot of other stuff. Everything basically that me and Zeb did not get to talk about while we were away. Even though I know Zeb's covered a little bit of that, I haven't really given my counter take. I think that's a big part of the appeal of Outside the Overton is Zeb, he rants and raves and I have to come in and correct him, right? Am I right?
What did I do? Did I break something?
Dang. No, I think it's just the paint.
What is that from?
Is that?
Yeah, but what is that from?
I don't know. These are good though. What are these? Creamy strawberry flavor. Dang, that's like candy.
I was throwing cough drops at Josh. Maybe it'll fix his cough. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, we're basically just going to be covering. I'm trying to fix something right now, so Josh is on screen. Basically, we're going to be covering what has been moving the outside. What has been outside the Overton? What has been moving the Overton window in the last couple of weeks? And sorry. All right, I'm
Nick
good now.
Shirley Steinberg says Stephen Crumley. How do you wear this thing, dude? Am I wearing?
It goes over your ear.
That's right.
No, it twists. I got Josh a Christmas present, right? It goes like this, and then you bend this, like it goes.
Okay.
Bend.
Gotcha.
All right. Maybe we'll figure that out. Maybe we'll figure that out. But yeah,
new year, new us. But we're definitely being professional is not on our New Year's resolutions.
I don't know. I told
the charm of the show, Zeb.
Well, I told him a while back. Anybody that portrays themselves as completely put together on the front end, they're not. They're not.
Exactly.
They're not. They're lying. I'm gonna put a cough drop.
What happens when the facade slips? We just never had the facade.
Did we? Didn't we? Anyway, all right. So we're gonna get into some of this. We're gonna be talking about
Damn.
Where'd you put the list at, dude? You're
right there.
We don't need it right now.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about Nick Shirley. We're gonna talk about Trump, Maduro, obviously. And we have maybe there's a disagreement there with myself and Josh or Nick or whoever position Josh is going to follow from there.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about these people that are bought out, grifters, poly market. It's going to work itself into the Nick Shirley stuff. And Tim Pool, we're going to be talking about him because he's a grifter also. Venezuela. All this is gonna. It's all one thing together. And then I think Josh wants to talk a little bit about Fuentes.
Nah,
Shocker.
me, nah.
Shocker. And Joe Webbin, and then yeah, more Trump. The great MAGA divide is what we are talking about today. What is your take on Nick Shirley, Josh?
My take on Nick Shirley is, of course, you know, the initial thing, the all the videos he made, all the exposing that he did, kind of nice. It's a breath of fresh air to actually see reporting being done on this. Of course, it comes out that he's basically astroturfed, and this is all a distraction. And once again, this is serving you-know-whose ends, the big eye in the sky, or rather in the Middle East, getting what they want once again. So Nick Shirley, I'll tell you, we were kind of rushing to get ready for the show, so I didn't actually get to tell you, Zeb, but the big thing that kind of put me over the edge of like, Nick Shirley is a controlled op, we cannot trust this guy, is Glenn Beck. Was
really?
Praising him on the show today. And I was like, well, if Glenn Beck is in and AI George Washington is in, then I'm out. So I don't know.
I think that's a fair assessment. Just take it out for now.
Just take it off.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it's not working. You got
my ears push it out. I've got, I don't know what you call that. Resilient
baby ears.
Baby ears. I need different.
Yeah, Nick Shirley's obviously an op.
Yeah.
Now, just because Nick Shirley's an op doesn't mean that what he's doing is bad. What he's doing is wrong. Obviously, we want to expose the fraud. We want to do something about it. But is anything going to happen? Obviously not. Another thing that came about was a lot of these daycares that Nick Shirley is going to have been investigated in the past. Like 2014, a lot of these places have been investigated. And so this is what you see is they've been investigated in 2014. It's still happening. You go back, you question it. Why is it still happening? And then you find out the governor of Tim Walz is increasing the funding of these daycares year after year. And then you find out that Tim Walz isn't running for governor anymore. He dropped out of the race, Josh. Very, very convenient.
Little finger wave, man. Couldn't take the heat. Yeah, I mean, this is what I'm saying. This is what I was arguing about this morning on my main job. This whole rule of law thing, this whole like everyone is due their day in court. The court system, the judicial system is beyond repair. It must be completely destroyed. All judges and pretty much all lawyers should be taken into custody. And I'm fully in favor of doing to Tim Walz, insert Ilhan Omar, insert any of these people in here, in their names into the slot. Do what we did to Maduro to them. Come up with whatever obscure legal precedent you can to arrest these people, remove them from power, replace them. Quit. Who's that guy? I can't remember the guy's name, but he's this fat Mexican dude. He was the dude who was like so upset that Maduro got captured. I can't quite remember his name. It doesn't really matter. But like it's well-to-do to remind us how much these people hate us, how much the left hates us. This guy is going out there and talking about how as soon as the left gets back in, they're going to arrest us. That like all the people that supported Trump are going to have to pretend they didn't, like Nazi Germany. And I am honestly in favor of totally becoming everything that they fear and worse, shy of killing. No, well, executions are fine, but we're not going to do the Nazi narrative type stuff. But I am in favor of arresting people without cause.
I'm sure that question is going to come up a little bit later.
Yeah, and these people, it's like I say without cause. So you can just steal millions of dollars from the taxpayer and get rid of and get off scot-free because, oh my God, that was 5 years ago. If it happened yesterday, then we could do something. There is no statute of limitations anymore. We're coming after Tim Walz. We're coming after all Somalians. They all got to go.
How do we get there, Josh? We just vote harder? Just a little vote harder?
Yes.
let me sign it harder. Let me bubble it in harder. Let me press the touch screen harder.
That's a good start, Zeb.
Yeah.
Have you tried it though?
Yeah. Wow. Mm-hmm.
You haven't tried it?
Yeah, I tried it.
You tried it? All
I
right,
didn't
well,
try hard enough.
that's my takeaway.
If you voted harder last time, maybe you should try harder to vote harder this time.
I agree.
Easy solution.
So
It works.
the milkman of the PD says, if you would pull that up for me, please, Zeb, arresting them without going through a judge. Yes.
No, we're arresting the judges. Also, there's no judge to go through anymore. There's no judge to go through anymore.
Yeah,
we arrest the judges and then we arrest everybody else.
You can call us Aussies because it's going to be kangaroo courts all day. It's going to be like The Dark Knight Rises, where it's like, you're guilty. How do you plead? Not guilty. Okay, that's nice. Death by exile. Yeah, next. That's what's going to happen. It is going to be The Dark Knight Rises, and we will. Are we bringing back the noose? Is the noose loose, Zeb?
I mean, there's not one over there in the corner. I had to remove one thing out of the studio when I sent the panoramic. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I can only tell you what it looks like.
Here's the new Miranda rights. Which tree are you picking? That's it.
Big old white oak. Let's go.
Let's go, dude.
I'm trying to think of a song. There's a song I'm trying to think of right now. It's not happening. But yeah, I mean, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about with Tim Walz and this just rampant. I think Elon Musk tweeted out that at the federal level, there's like $700 million or $700 billion of fraud. It's like, okay, why didn't we do anything with Doge? Well, the answer is the same reason that Dan Bongino is having to go back to podcasting, because you can't get anything done. You can't get anything done at the federal level. If Elon Musk, with all of his money and all of his power, can't get anything done, if Dan Bongino, with all of his screaming at the screen, saying he's going to release the Epstein files, saying he's going to do this, going to do that, can't get anything done, what is left for us to say this is not fixable? At the federal level, this is not fixable. Again, I'll go back to my video I did the other day. I think it is fixable at a state level, because the corruption isn't as deep and it's not as funded at the state level. But at the federal level, it is unfixable. And there's no excuse for it. There's no excuse for you to say that, yeah, we can fix it. We just need to try harder. Sorry. We just need to try harder. Josh, I mean, you work with some guys that believe that they can fix the system.
Sure. I mean,
do you think that they can be convinced, or what would it take to be convinced? Actually fixing the system? Like, is it the thing that we just haven't tried to fix the system yet? Is it a socialistic position where real socialism has never been tried? Real fixing the system's never been tried.
This is the problem with a lot of the people I deal with on a daily basis, is we need to get our guy in there. And to a certain extent, I agree. I think that change, I don't know if I'd go so far as to say it's not possible at the federal level, but it's what kind of change, but what kind of change are we talking about? If we're playing by the rules, then no. But that's exactly my point. And this is the thing, is it's like we have the best system ever created by man. And for us to try and change it in order to make things better, that would destroy the system in of itself. And we can't do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to do what we've always done. And then when we finally get our guy in there and he totally screws the pooch, well, we're just going to rationalize it and convince ourselves that that's not happening. That is what we have to change. We have to be realistic about our situation. We have to be realistic. And I know I'm preaching to the choir here. None of you are pleased with Trump, most likely. I know you're not pleased with Trump. I'm not pleased with Trump. He's bought and sold. I'm kind of getting off on a tangent here because I'm dealing with boomers every day. But
I mean, to answer Chad's question, they're basically all saying the same thing, that somebody's saying we're doomered out. Maybe he's talking to somebody else, but
I wouldn't say it's hopeless. Do you think it's hopeless?
I don't think it's hopeless.
Okay.
No. they're saying who is, what state is not corrupt. I'm not saying the states aren't corrupt. That's not what I said. I said it's less corrupt, significantly less corrupt, because there's a lot less money involved, and there's a lot less international aspects involved, where you have money coming in from external sources. Specifically, Israel is worried about Fishback winning Florida. Why would they be worried about Fishback winning Florida? Well, because Florida taxpayers fund through state taxes Israel for some retarded amount. I can't remember the number specifically. I think it's like $40 million or something. But it's like, that's a problem. But it's not as big of a problem as it is at the federal level. They're not that completely kept. And so I think we can acknowledge that if we have somebody like Dan Bongino that rails about fixing the system every day, releasing the Epstein files, he gets up there and he really does nothing. They do nothing. And then they quit and they go back to their old job because they can't cut it up there. And now they can't cut it here. We're going to get to this in a second. Dan Bongino can't even sack up on his comment section, and he just starts blocking people after he declared war on them. You lost, dude. You lost at the governmental level. You're losing at the Twitter level. You're not the only one losing at the Twitter level. Vivek quit too. You're a bunch of quitters, a bunch of brown quitters.
What is Dan Bongino, by the way?
He's brown Italian.
Oh, okay.
He's not white Italian. He's brown Italian.
Yes, he's mudblood.
So that's what we're dealing with. That's what we're dealing with. A bunch of quitters. How about let's set a standard, a simple standard of Americans run America. Can we like is that too hard of a step to take, Josh?
What is an American, Zeb? What is an American?
Well, soon to be an American is someone that lives on Earth.
Yeah. 8 billion undocumented Americans. Elon is going to Mars to find more Americans. That's what he wants to do.
An American is someone that lives in the Western Hemisphere. I was told reliably by a guy named Fuentes that anyone in the Western Hemisphere is American.
See, I didn't read the tweet. I promise you that's not what he meant. See, this is Zeb.
Yeah, but the Monroe Doctrine, Josh, the Monroe Doctrine says that all of the Western Hemisphere is American.
It's our property. I do love. I don't know if you saw
the only person that got that right was Rubio.
Zebulon. I'm speaking now.
No.
Basically, what it is all of these so-called sovereign nations south of the border. They are our biatch, and Venezuela's oil is our oil. Huh?
I don't disagree with
you. Don't disagree? I mean, why? I mean, as long as the cartels are profiting off of drugs, it should be our money too. Although I'm not supporting that. We definitely should behead, metaphorically speaking, all of the cartel members, and literally speaking, execute them, get rid of that. But in order to do that, we're going to have to sack the CIA. So that's where we're going.
Josh, if you will, tell the people real quick, because you had y'all had somebody on this morning on your radio show. Were you there this morning?
Yeah, I was there.
Y'all had somebody on your radio show that is a literal history professor, the head of the university, and head history university guy, professor.
Yeah,
he's been doing it a very long time.
Yes,
he went in today, and they talked on the radio, and they specifically spoke on the Monroe Doctrine.
Correct.
Explain to the people what specifically the Monroe Doctrine is for, because this is something that happens a lot of times across the board with a bunch of documents generally, especially old ones. They divorce them from the time. They take the documents and they pluck them out of time and they place them here. And they're like, this applies, but it doesn't. And so maybe you can start that and then we can have that discussion.
Yeah. So the Monroe Doctrine, basically the gist is I forget exactly when pen was put to pencil on that. I believe 1823. 1823. And I'm not exactly, I was working on other stuff at the time when Dr. Bolt was talking, or should I say that? But I know that essentially it speaks to the fact of, if it's not us, it's not our problem. It's sort of a restriction on foreign intervention, and essentially all of the minutia of it is used today to justify this, that, and the third, or rather to get rid of it. So the boomers today, they were talking about how kind of rationalizing how what we did with Venezuela was in line with the Monroe Doctrine.
Yeah, so I guess let me cover it real quick, because I talked about this yesterday on the show, and I did a little research because I was curious. Everybody was quoting the Monroe Doctrine that nobody's heard of until like 2 days ago.
Right.
Can you say astroturfed?
Yeah.
But the Monroe Doctrine specifically in 1820, it wasn't. We later learned this morning that Monroe didn't actually write it; he adopted it, post hoc after it was already created. But essentially, the baseline was, in the early ages of America, we were trying to stabilize the entire Western Hemisphere, and Europe kept trying to send over new colonizers, and not only new colonizers, but British ships were coming over, essentially trying to plunder, trying to take control, having military intervention in the Western Hemisphere. And so at the time, there were French, there were Spanish, there were English settlements that were trying to get colonies started. And so the Monroe Doctrine was basically, we need to prevent any foreign intervention, meaning Eastern Hemisphere, meaning Europe, from intervening and stopping the progression of newly formed colonies, because they can't defend themselves. And so the position of Monroe and later presidents after him was to allow those colonies to essentially attempt to flourish on their own without being squashed by the flailing British Empire, if you will. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Listen, the British Empire was great in 13 and 1400. We started going downhill once America was created. America is just a creation, is a evolution of the British Empire. Look at it now. It's destroyed. America's following behind, but we are that. So that's what the Monroe Doctrine is for. It's completely taken out of context. It is a defensive measure to allow for places in South and North America to grow from newly minted peoples, from new colonies. And so it's a defensive measure that's now being applied as an offensive measure to take oil. Is it to take oil? I don't know. Trump came out earlier today on screen and saying that he was a little bit peeved because Maduro was mocking his dance. Do you see that? Did you see that? Let me see if I can pull that up.
Wait, that was real?
Yeah, it's real.
I thought that was AI.
Nah, let me see if I can find it real quick.
That's crazy. I'm surprised because I'm surprised we're even seeing as much pictures of Maduro as we are. I mean, obviously, you gotta get the layup. Here we toppled the dictator. Here's him in handcuffs in a tracksuit on New York City. But still, I think it's I'm kind of shocked that that's real. But that's funny. You got it? You don't got it?
I think it's going to be aggravating. Let's try this. Let's try this. I'm better than it is. We'll just pull up OBS.
Maduro.
No, we can pull up.
Maduro is stinky and he pooped his pants. He's like Sleepy Joe Biden.
This.
Maybe you've heard of him.
Sleepy Joe Biden.
Sleepy Joe. Maduro and Sleepy Joe can share cells together, except I don't keep any of my promises, and you're all going to be killed when I leave office by the left.
All right, let's take a look at this real quick. This is Donald Trump. The question is, why did we invade Venezuela? A lot of people were saying that it's because oil, or it's because I don't know. What are some other oil?
I like it.
Somebody commented something because I said
I'm not mocking.
Yeah,
I kind of like oil. Big oil.
Big oil. Big oil. Anyway, this is Donald Trump getting mad that Maduro was mocking his dance.
And, he's a violent guy. He gets up there and he tries to imitate my dance a little bit. But he's a violent guy.
Oh, are we pausing? All right, let me refresh. Sorry.
He's a violent guy. He gets up there and he tries to imitate my dance a little bit. But he's a violent guy. And
it's like,
is that it?
He's such a violent guy. And then he was imitating my dance, but he's violent. He's a violent guy. Let's go kidnap him. It's like, I don't care that he's violent. Stop using it as an excuse. I don't care about the Monroe Doctrine. Stop using it as an excuse. I know you're lying to me. Just tell me the truth. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with taking Venezuela. Just don't lie to me about the reason for taking it.
I think I'm willing to actually give Trump a little bit of leeway on this one because, you know, like I'll be honest. I'll try not to get long-winded here, but
Take it. We got time.
It's kind of like the Charlie Kirk thing. Like some of the stuff you and I disagree on the Charlie Kirk thing, it comes down to how transparent should the federal government be. Now, obviously, we want full transparency with things like Jeffrey Epstein because of the implications, but like just divorcing ourselves from the world, divorcing ourselves from the circumstance, I do think it makes sense for the FBI to not completely release all the information they have on Charlie Kirk just yet. You know, like a lot of the stuff about Kyle Rittenhouse didn't come out till the trial. You know, this is just kind of how it happens. And I understand the strategy that Trump has to employ to basically execute his will over Venezuela. Now, obviously, there's little things like I don't support us being there, basically doing. I'm okay with regime change, but not a, what's the word? State building. I don't want them to do state building down there, which it looks like that's what we're going to be doing anyway. Now, Donald Trump coming out and saying to the world and everybody, this is the real reason we're going after it. I kind of get why he's not doing that because he is, as we all know, coming up with BS reasons to take out Maduro. He's saying, oh, it's narco-terrorism. He is spreading drugs in the United States. And now we're classifying that as terrorists. So therefore we can go after him. We could go after almost anybody. We could go after Xi Jinping with that kind of logic, which I'm fine with. But I get why on the world stage they kind of have to lie. But here's the problem with it for me, is it is so obviously a lie. You know what I mean? We, in the same way, us going into Iraq in the early 2000s, the reasons we did for that, 9/11, obviously, they were very shoddy. And we know now that they were for ulterior motives. But that's kind of the point, is in order for us to get what we really want. Now, obviously, I'm not supporting Iraq, but I'm saying the regime has to kind of sugarcoat it with a lie to make it go down, to make it go down easier for the public and everything. Again, I don't support every aspect of it, but I do understand it. It would be cool for Trump to just come out and say, hey, we want several $1 trillion worth of oil. You're in our hemisphere and we have bigger guns. We're going to do with you what we want. But that does set an sort of anti-political precedent. I mean, does that kind of make sense?
No, absolutely. Again, just don't lie to me. Stop lying to me. I'm tired of being lied to. But I mean, at the same time, it's like all of these things are probably factors in going and capturing Maduro. Is a destabilized Venezuela good for America? I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be destabilized, but I do know that we're going to have boots on the ground. One, because Trump didn't endorse the opposition candidate. He came out and basically said that we're going to occupy, we're going to retake the refineries, we're going to bring in big oil, we're going to allow them to pump oil out of the ground. It's not, I mean, that oil is not even like liquid. It's more of a thick thing. But anyway, but then you have the oil, you have the issue with central banking, you have the issue with Maduro mocking him, mocking his dance. You have Maduro saying, come and get me. Then you also had the Colombia president just coming out and repeating that too. You also had the issue with like cartels that they claim was fentanyl originally, but now it's not fentanyl. Now it's cocaine. And all of these things all pile into one big old massive pile of lies. Like, just tell us, just pick out the truth and show us. I don't need a bunch of excuses. But again, when we're talking about the Monroe Doctrine, it's applied incorrectly. And the only person that got it right was Rubio, right? Rubio, not that he didn't even pull the Monroe Doctrine. He basically, and I agree with Rubio on this. We need to have good neighbors. Like, I feel like that's a baseline that we can get behind.
Yeah.
Why do we have to pull out 1823 Monroe Doctrine to justify wanting good neighbors?
We don't have to, and that's kind of where I'm in agreement with you. Is all this stuff like, why do we need the Constitution's permission to do anything? We are the United States. We ransacked and kidnapped the leader of a dictatorship while he was in his PJs. We can do almost anything we want, yet we're shackled by ourselves. And this is why you and me argue with the boomers so much, is it's like, why are you so married to something that I won't even say it's obvious it doesn't work, but something that is clearly holding us back? And that's my thing with Maduro and everything, is I'm okay with us basically world policing our hemisphere. Because I mean, that, like, what do you think the reason we don't want Venezuelans, Mexicans, Colombians, the reason we don't want these people here in the first place is because they're not capable of being American. So why would they be capable of doing anything like America in Colombia? I do think that, like you said, and like as the Monroe Doctrine states, we need good neighbors, but what does that entail? Does that entail, ooh, I wish upon a star that Colombians would breed enough to have higher IQ? It's not going to happen. It's going to involve a little bit of world policing, and I'm actually okay. Now, obviously, this regime is corrupt. The current American regime is totally Israeli-occupied territory, and I am therefore skeptical of it for that reason. But in principle alone, I'm not against it.
I mean, that's kind of the argument I made the other day, right? I was saying that basically pulling a concept out of Jordan Peterson's book where he says, clean your room. Clean your room before you try to conquer the world.
Mm-hmm.
Let's literally do that. Let's fix America. Let's fix the state. Let's fix the city, county, whatever thing that you can fix before we start trying to police the rest of the world with the junk that we have in our own house. And so that's kind of, we basically agree on this position. I'm trying to think of why they need. It kind of just popped in my head, right? Why they need the Constitution, why they glorify it so much. I don't think they glorify it because they believe it to be like this all-powerful authority. I actually don't. I know they'll say that sometimes. I don't think they do. I think they glorify it because it gives them an excuse to do the thing. Whatever the thing is, it gives them that excuse because they can twist it, pluck it out of its time frame, and apply it now. Remove all the motive behind it originally and apply it now and use it as an excuse. It's the same thing with the Monroe Doctrine. You pluck it out of time, you use it as an excuse. It's like, are we not capable of thinking for ourselves to some extent? Like, are we not capable of not removing something in history to apply it to today? Like, can we not just think of a reason today? Like Rubio. Like, is he the only one that can say, hey, maybe we should have good neighbors? Hey, maybe we shouldn't allow Cuba to send migrants 90 miles into Miami. Maybe we shouldn't have Mexico running cartel drugs and human trafficking across the border. Like, I feel like that's baseline, Josh. But then we have to pull things like the Monroe Doctrine to justify it. Is that like an argument for the boomer? It's like, if I want to do something, I'm just going to pull an old document and say, this says this, and then do it. And the boomer's like, yeah, let's do that. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
sugar,
that's
you
it.
call it sugar coating, but yeah, that's what it is.
That's exactly what it is the boomers, the political, the boomer that considers themselves a political junkie, their god is Thomas Jefferson, their god is George Washington, and they need the founders' stamp of approval to do anything. But the problem is they're basically historically illiterate, and they don't really understand anything about the founders genuinely. They think that like they basically have been convinced that the civil rights version of the Constitution is more constitutional than the original. That like the founders were okay with everything that they are doing because here's what it is. The left doesn't give a crap about the founders at all. And the boomers care enough. That's what it is. So that's basically the boomers just get in a circle jerk talking about the Monroe Doctrine, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Federalist Papers, even though they don't know anything about those. And then what happens is that's all the politicians have to do is just find this obscure interpretation of the Constitution, Bill of Rights, whatever that makes it taste easier going down for the boomers. And the boomers want to win so bad before they die. They care more about believing that they have won than actually winning. And therefore, they are constantly rationalizing everything that's going on to interpret it as a victory, which is in essence why we keep losing. Because there is no standard of victory. There is only we won. And then rewriting history to support that claim in the mind of the boomer, in the mind of the average political junkie over the age of 45.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you combat that. It's like,
You can't.
we're winning, we're
They're
winning because the thing. It's like, let's actually win instead of convincing ourselves that we won. I feel like it's a little bit more work. It's like Bongino thinks he won. We're going to dive into Bongino here in a second.
That's kind of what I remember. One of the disagreements you and I kind of have regularly have is how long will it be before the quote unquote, I don't know if you want to call it change or victory. That's why I think it'll take decades, because it's going to take when we are the boomers, because things are only getting worse. When we're the old people, think about what the young people will be like when we're old. When whites are basically, it's like what, like 55% white or 40% white, and the rest is all nons. It's not going to get better. It is going to be hell on earth. Think about how racist they'll be. Think about how radical they'll be compared to us now. That's why I think it's going to take decades.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to take decades.
The boomers, I mean, you look at it. These people, their daughters get murdered by black home invaders. A guy in New York City is stabbed in the heart in front of his girlfriend. And what do? Oh my God. The socioeconomic factors that led to this happening. Oh, what a travesty. It's going to take horrible things happening to people you know. And I believe me, I'm not like saying, oh, I can't wait I'm not an accelerationist, I don't want it. But you're asking, what is it going to take? That's what it's going to take.
Josh, it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong.
What do you think is going to happen?
I mean, the rate at which people are, like you said, the younger people, I don't think we have to become boomers for this to take effect. I think that they have to get out of high school. Another 10 years, they'll be, I don't know, 25, 30 years old. So I think that's what we're looking at. And I'll be 40. That's a boomer. And so that's what we're looking at. I mean, if it takes longer than that, it's a numbers game, and we just simply won't have the numbers. I mean, at the rate that we're going, I mean, we're what, 50% of the population maybe in America. And so if we're taking those numbers, you just can't win on a numbers game. So we're trying to predict the future here. I think there is going to be a balkanization. I don't think America is going to retain itself as a federation or as a country, but we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I think by the time white people are the minority in this country, that is when you're going to get your uprising, and I think it's going to be bad, but I think the outcome will be fine. We've had worse odds before.
Real quick, we're gonna dive into some of the Bongino stuff here. Everyone, go get your merch in the description at it's a bonfire. Nav merch. Everyone's a Fed except me. Also, the members aren't active right now. We're trying to work that out. YouTube and AdSense had issues with that. Trying to get that worked out. I'm assuming super chats are off also.
What happened? I didn't know about this.
We had to create an AdSense account through YouTube, and then something happened, like it wasn't linked correctly, and so it like put everything on pause until we do it. So we're waiting on that.
Gotcha.
As soon as we'll do it, as soon as we get that right, we'll be right back up and going, cruising. Everybody should retain all their membership stuff and everything from that. So, we're continually adding things on. Please support us various other ways. Check out the Nav merch. If you have any ideas for Nav merch, or you would like to help out with anything, whether that's clipping or graphic work or maybe research, maybe you want to write articles or something, we can facilitate something like that. I know we got a couple artists. I'm trying to think of a way to kind of incorporate that. We got a new guy coming on too, Josh. So I'm not going to spoil that yet. He'll be here when he gets here. I think it's Friday or it's Saturday. Monday. You doing Saturday or no? Monday?
He's Monday.
Okay, Monday.
The next Nav Founders Show, he will be introduced. And I was going to say, he actually made a really good point about, you had brought up with Venezuela, the central banking, how really the central banking, we all know central banking is bad, but, and obviously it's not ideal, but the thing is it really only hurts Venezuela. Venezuela having a central bank isn't really bad for us. Now, obviously, if they were our proxy state in a hypothetical situation where we were in control of everything in this hemisphere, which would be awesome, then yeah. But the central bank stuff, I think that's not as big a deal. I agree with future name man, whose name will be revealed in the future. We don't want to say that yet. Would it hurt?
I guess not.
We'll keep it a surprise.
Is Atlas still around? Yes, everyone is still around. We're all still around except for Chuck. Chuck's not here anymore.
Except for I couldn't hear you,
Chuck.
What are you talking about? Chuck is with us in spirit. Chuck we had a conversation with him, and we took him to Auschwitz, and he was like, this is pretty cool, actually. And he's come around.
No. We were walking through, and he was like, why aren't those chimneys connected to the building? And then we were like, don't ask questions. And so
he goes, when can we ride the Ferris wheel?
I didn't bring my bathing suit for the swimming pool. So
we got him a lamp and bar soap from the gift shop at Auschwitz, and he was like,
the bodies
he was like, man, this is better than Dr. Squatch.
Oh man.
Oh lordy lord.
But yeah, so we're gonna dive into. Let me see if I can get this pulled up. I don't know if the Bongino stuff's gonna work or not.
Dan Bongino.
All right, here we go. This is Dan Bongino kind of picking a fight with people. This one is Matt Gaetz. He was picking a fight with Milo. He's retweeting people like this. Foya fan. It says, what's the difference between Matt Gaetz and a bag of dog shit? The bag. Retweet nice. Dan Bongino. So that's what we're looking at. And that's that one. That's that one. This one. All right.
Yeah.
Let's start. No. What'd you say? Where's the original tweet? I don't know. Anyway, Dan Bongino screenshotted a article that says Dan Bongino is declaring war on political grifters and anti-MAGA. What did they say? I'm gonna have to go find it. Oh, I'm killing myself right now.
Dan Bongino.
What's your take on Bongino then, Josh, since we're sitting here?
He's a loser. I mean, he's He's a sunshine pumper. I've had to listen to his show for years, ever since he kind of became mainstream, working in the radio industry myself. And he's just like this, oh, you come on, you know what I would do? This is the problem. See, back when I was working security for Obama, now, dude, as an Italian, see, I'm an Italian. I wouldn't put up with this kind of nonsense. And that's all he did. He just talks a big game. And Shaka Rooney gets in and does nothing and pounds and, pouts and stamps his feet like a child and then quits reluctantly. And of course, that's all he is. He's a talker. He's a wimp also. And now he's tucking his tail and running back to what is profitable: podcasting. And I kind of hope that it falls through. I mean, because now, like, that was literally his whole shtick was, see, these idiots at the top, these idiots in there, they don't know what they're doing. That's why they get rid of people like me. Okay, well, they got you. And nothing happened. So what now, Dan? That's my take on Dan.
What now, Dan? Well, that's the right take, right? Dan Bongino is, well, he talks the talk, but he doesn't walk the walk. I mean, he was up there. I remember he went on the podcast complaining about how he had to work a lot and he couldn't see his, he couldn't do family time together all the time. It's like, did you not know what you were signing up for? Like, obviously this is going to take a lot of time. Obviously it's going to take a lot of work. I mean, you think the feds are just going to roll over? The deep state's just, oh, Dan Bongino's here. Oh, what do we do now?
Yeah, you know what it was? He thought that when I get there and I'm going to be in charge, I'm just going to tell them to, hey, stop being bad. And they're going to be like, all right, you're the boss.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yep. Dan Bongino's the boss. He's got the title. D-State's just going to roll over and let him do what he's going to do.
See, I've got a producer and he does what I say. If I became FBI director or whatever, they would do what I say. That's how it works. Yeah. And again, it's kind of like Elon Musk. Elon Musk is used to everyone does what he says because he's the CEO of a private company. It's imperial. It's monarchical. I don't know if that's a word. But it's king-like. Dictatorial. Then, in the same way, in law enforcement, it's exactly the same. So they go, man, when I was a grunt working for the law enforcement, this is what I did and this is what I would do if I worked in government. And wouldn't you know it, it's all these skeevers. It's all these like scum that just, what's an example I'm thinking of? But it's like, they literally just like, hey, do this. And they just don't do it. And they come up with excuses and they get away with it. It's like, cause to get anything done takes paperwork, takes red tape, and they can just not do it.
If you want to get something done, you got to do it.
Yes.
I used to say that all the time. But this is Sam Parker says, Dan Bongino's reduced himself to a stereotype. Take the paycheck, accomplish nothing, call everyone else a grifter. Instead of going after criminals, declare war on everyone who criticizes you for not going after criminals. I'd tell him myself, but he blocked me. Oh, after 10-7. But this is a tweet. He says, Dan Bongino declares war on black pillars and grifters trying to hijack MAGA. He says, you're damn right I did. The question is, who are the black pillars and grifters that Dan Bongino is claiming that he's declaring war on now and also saying is trying to hijack MAGA? My argument, and which is the correct one, is that the original Trumpers, the original supporters of Trump, is who Dan Bongino is calling black pillars and grifters and trying to hijack MAGA. How about you and Ben Shapiro and JD Vance and all of these other never Trumpers from 2016, 2017, 18? How about you're the one that tried to hijack MAGA? How about Donald Trump is a never Trumper right now? That's what we're looking at. We're looking at a 47 never Trumper. And so he's declaring war on people like Matt Gaetz. Let's go through these tweets first. This is Dan Bongino, one of the first ones he put out. He said, "Good to see you all. I missed you. Thanks for everything while we worked on cleaning up. Working in the administration was the experience of a lifetime. I'll have some announcements coming up, but I'm taking a couple days to spend with the family." A couple things. Thank you for your interest in the show and its return date. Doubt is getting drug in the comments. We will have something for you soon. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen, Josh? You think he's going to expose the government? He's going to spill all the beans?
No, he's gonna go in there, and for the first month, he's gonna play it off like, here's the problem. He's not gonna share nothing. You don't need to bother tuning into Dan Bongino to see what the inside scoop is. If he could do anything, he would be doing it. This is all theater. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the real reason why, but I mean, the point is it's like, if he is genuinely quitting over moral reasons, you think, like, why wouldn't he just say it now? Why wouldn't he just release it? He's not gonna tell you anything you already that you don't already know.
This is Bongino blocking people today. That's pretty funny. Somebody just said that. I appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, that's what we're dealing with, right? This is Dan Bongino. He can't take the heat. Along with him not being able to take the heat, there is another. There's another. Where's it at? Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. Where's the Vivek one? Maybe I got out of it. Anyway, Vivek is also quitting. They're all quitting. They're all quitters. Team Trump is not kidding around. It's an otherworldly experience. I mean, what do you mean he's not kidding around?
Why are you quitting?
Why are you quitting? Where's the nothing's in order. Anyway, why are you quitting? If they're not kidding around, why are you quitting? Why has nothing gotten done? Why do we not have the Epstein files? Why do we not really have, we don't really have any answers to January 6th. Happy anniversary, Josh. Happy January 6th anniversary. It's like, no arrests were made, no real arrests. Obviously, we arrested some people. But he spent a year covering up the Epstein files. And then when they were supposed to be produced, they weren't produced. And then you had a fight with Pam Bondi and Kash Patel, and you threatened to quit, and then you didn't actually quit. And then you had another fight, and then you finally quit. It's like, what did you do there? Are you going to spill it all? The answer is obviously not.
Right. And you know what I bet his mindset is he's not going to upset Trump. He's been a Trump sunshine pumper for so long, which is why he's saying the Trump team is not kidding around. But my problem is with Kash Patel. It's with Pam Bondi. And this is the thing, is it's like, he is operating like everyone out there is a boomer. Because what the boomers do is, like I said earlier, they rationalize everything so that it is actually good. And that is the majority of his audience. And what he is thinking is that he's going to go out there and he's going to talk about these tiffs he had with Pam Bondi and Kash Patel. He's going to talk about how he tried his darndest. I did my best, but it wasn't good enough. But that's exactly the point, is our generation is not putting up with that anymore. Zeb and younger, John Ward and younger, it's not going to happen. We are done. This, okay, I tried and I failed. Well, we judge you based on your actions. George Washington is not remembered because of what he wanted to do, of what he intended to do. There's billions of people with great intentions that didn't act, and you don't know their names. And they're dead. God knows, but you don't. And that's exactly the point. Is Dan Bongino, if he tried it all, if he tried his hardest, you failed. And it's not good enough. We need victories. We don't need attempts, because that is That's the story of all of our lifetimes politically. I mean, I was born when Clinton was president. I'm not exactly sure, so the point being is it's like our whole lives have been, well, we did our best. And you can't blame us for trying. I'm not blaming you for trying. I'm blaming you for failing. That's the problem here. That's exactly what we're tired of. And so I don't really care. We don't care, Dan. We don't care that it's tough. Yeah, it's going to take that. And honestly, and this is my point, is let's give Bongino the benefit of the doubt. Let's say that Bongino genuinely went to DC with the best intentions and that Dan genuinely tried his hardest and he did everything that he possibly could to release the Epstein files, everything that he possibly could have done to accomplish the things he set out to do. I'll give Dan the benefit of the doubt and say he did everything he possibly could and failed. Okay, Dan, what stood in your way? Was it Kash Patel? Was it Pam Bondi? Was it Donald Trump? Okay, let's say it was. Why? It is your responsibility if you genuinely did your absolute best to accomplish the things you set out to do and couldn't because Donald Trump was in your way, then you have a responsibility to do so, to say so, to report it to us. If I went to DC and was like, man, I love this Trump guy. And look, he even put me in charge of the FBI. And then I get in there and I say, okay, we ran on uncovering the Epstein files. And he goes, okay, we're not doing that. I know we said that, but we're not doing it. I'd have to say, the only thing I can think of is that he got threatened, but I don't even think it's that. See, I think Dan is I think he's in it for the bucks. But that's my point, is it's like, it doesn't matter that you tried and failed. What matters is that you failed. And we don't need you. You can't do anything for us, then we don't need you. Bye-bye, home to mommy. If you can still get your podcast deal back and make millions of dollars doing what you did before, good on you.
You failed. Sorry, I'm back. I had to leave for a second. But yeah, I mean, I think Josh is absolutely right here. You have an obligation to the people to spill the beans. Whatever that is, whatever reason you couldn't get anything done, you have to spill the beans. But he's not going to spill the beans because he believes he accomplished something, Josh. You know what they're running with? This is what the left side of MAGA is running with. They're running with, Dan Bongino got a lot done. He set some silent traps. It's just going to take time to come to fruition. You got to give it time. He set these traps. He did some stuff in silence. Trust the plan, Josh. Trust the plan. Plan trusters are accelerationists in denial.
We've been giving it time for 80 years. It's not working. We want results and we want them now.
Yes. Burn it down.
Get it done. And that's the thing, is it's like, let's just say for the sake of argument, Zeb is kind of a full-blown burn it down guy. I'm like an 80% burn it down guy. The boomers out there that are full-blown, we got to preserve the system at all costs because it's the greatest system man ever created. It may not be the Bible, but it's pretty darn close. The people that are saying that, how can they even rationalize the deportation numbers? All of the scams going on that what's being done about them? What wars? Continuous wars in Iran, Middle East, no new wars. I'm gonna end the war in Ukraine day one. It's been 1 year, still ongoing.
They are still fighting that thing over there, aren't they?
They sure are. And that's my point, is it's like,
no new wars, only bomb the countries.
The mind of these people, and that's the thing, is it's like, I was listening to a thing on the way over here with Ron Perlman, and he was talking about how he's like a leftist, and he's like, oh, I just watch MSNBC, and they're like, oh, you don't get the other side's opinion, and he was like, nah, I don't really care. And I'm like, and everyone,
Ron
all of
Perlman's
the
got a stupid face.
he does. He's also Jewish. But here's the thing: is all of the midwit reaction is, well, how can you say that? You're not getting the other side. How is that fair? This is how people operate. Like I'm not mad at Ron Perlman. This is just how people are, and that's exactly my point. Is just win. Stop trying to convince the whole world that you're right. Beat your enemies. That's what we have to do.
This is also Dan Bongino. Let me add this from the jump. There is no confusion. So there's no confusion. I started in this movement as a candidate, blah, 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 blah. Nobody's reading all that. What does he say? Let me see. Josh, you read it. How about that? Start right here.
Yo, Ed the Forgotten. We're movement guided by truth. The essence of conservative ideology is the preservation of eternal truth. We are not the latest thing group. We are not political cannibals. I've watched quietly from the inside while doing this job I was hired to do. But I'm back now, and it's time to restore the balance. Hold on. It's time to restore balance to the force. That one was for
Guido. I'm sure short for Guido.
Okay.
No clue. Anyway,
is that a Star Wars thing?
I guess.
As we get ready to make some announcement, I'm pretty sure that is. How cute is that? Oops. I made a living sunshine pumping about how if only I could do it, then everything would be great. See, look how smart I am. Tried, failed, come back with okay, didn't work out, but now I'm going to come back to podcasting to bring balance to the force. It's cute. It's cute, Danny.
Oh yeah, and wasn't who was it? Sean Hannity or Mark Levin that declared war on all podcasters? That podcasters are they just want to yell into the microphone. This is the thing. There's levels to this podcasting. We're down here. Okay, we're down here. You got Bongino and them here, and you got the government here. Bongino couldn't make it here. He couldn't cut it up top, so he had to drop back down and fight down here. And he's getting absolutely drug on X. He's gonna continue to get drug. He has to, dude. I don't know how he's gonna recover. I don't know how you recover from that.
Will you scroll back up in the comments real quickly? Like one scroll. Yeah, the one V, the purple V guy, Vakrenhart. He says, I think Dan left because of the corruption in the FBI.
Obviously.
Okay.
Obviously.
If you're going to fix corruption in the FBI, where do you think is the best place to do that from? Any guesses?
Dan Bongino can't tell us exactly why he left. You don't understand this. He absolutely can tell us.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, he can.
Because why? They'll kill him who? Donald Trump?
Yeah.
And kill him for what? Spieling the fact that Donald Trump is probably the person we were afraid he was in the Epstein files?
NDA, no NDA, it doesn't matter, dude. You have an obligation to the American people, if it is that corrupt, to spill it. If it's not that corrupt, then you should be able to spill it. So the question is, why aren't you? And maybe he will, maybe he won't. I doubt he will, given the circumstances. He has an obligation to the people.
That same guy says, he's just one guy. Okay.
He was at the top of the FBI.
If he wasn't lying when he said he saw the Epstein files, he should come out and say it. He should, and I get it. It won't prove anything, and he'd probably get in trouble. But it's his responsibility. That's what it takes.
Him and Cash were on a podcast. They were on a podcast. Shocker, they were on a podcast talking about. Yeah, I saw the file. Epstein killed himself. Yep, he did it. He did it. He did it. Yep.
I've seen the fake video footage. Mogger Fogger said that Dan Bongino's audience is probably dumb enough to blindly follow him. Absolutely.
Aren't they all? Aren't they all? I need an audience like that. Chad, is that you? Is that you?
Don't knock it till you try it, Zeb. Your army of mindless followers comes in handy when you're a leader of an army with mindless followers.
All that in, taking all that in right now, and we've talked about this before. Me and Josh have. This is recently. Trump tells House Republicans that he wishes they could explain to him what the hell is going on with the public, saying he has the right policies and doesn't understand recent criticism. This is the thing that me and Josh talk about pretty frequently, I think, is that he's sheltered. He has no idea what is actually going on out there. And so if they completely cater his feed, they can control his thought process. He believes he has the right policies. Why? Because he's being fed the information of the public. Why is this public so angry when this public that I see all the time on my phone agrees with me? This is what's happening. It's the same thing that Bongino's doing. He's blocking all these people. Now his feed is just going to be positive across the board. I'm declaring war on all the grifters. Let me block all the grifters.
It is what it is, man.
I am officially submitting an application to the FBI. I heard there's an open seat somewhere up there at the top. It's an appointed position. So, I don't have to be any prior anything. So I as a podcaster that wants to be in a podcaster occupied government, I will officially submit my application, my name in the hat to be drawn to be whatever Bongino was, deputy FBI director. And I'll tell you this, when I quit, because it's probably going to happen, they're going to force me out. I'll tell you everything. I'll spill it all.
Did Dan Bongino have to be approved by Congress?
Yeah, they all got approved except for one person. Who is that one person that didn't get approved, Josh?
Matthew Gates.
The one person that Dan Bongino is aggressively attacking right now. Where is it? Dan Bongino, maybe if I spent more time at shady parties with money. Let me go grab this, actually. This is a reply to Matt Gaetz. Good to see you all. I missed you. Yep, let me add this. And then Gates replied, when did Dan Bongino run for office and how did he perform as a candidate? He's asking Grok. I don't think Dan Bongino won anything as a candidate. That's the claim here that he's making. We'll take a look at Grok. But basically, I started this movement as a candidate during the Tea Party movement. That's his claim to credibility. And Matt Gaetz challenges that, and it gives Grok. He goes here. He says, Dan Bongino ran for office 3 times as a Republican, U.S. Senate Maryland, 1 primary, lost general, U.S. House, 1 primary, lost general, U.S. House, placed 3rd in primary with 17%. Bongino gets mad. He says, maybe if I spent more time at shady parties with moneyed insiders, I would have won. I heard you know a little bit about that. You've always been a dick, by the way, grifting off your daddy like a suckling little dog. When I first met you in the Panhandle, I knew you were a piece of shit. It's written all over that phony face of yours. And then Matt Gaetz.
Tell us how you really feel, Danny.
One more concerned about keeping Trump safe than this guy. Here's Matt Gaetz versus Christopher Wray. This is one of the finest clips you'll see today. This guy understands that Christopher Wray, who hopefully will be leaving his job the minute Trump is sworn in, Matt Gaetz gets it. The FBI management has worked as a singular force to destroy liberties and freedoms in the United States, and they better get a guy in there who's willing to see it for what it is. This guy sees it. Were they aghast at the nomination of Derek Farland, sometimes known as Merrick Garland? I'm not so sure. They didn't sound aghast. They were aghastless with Merrick Garland, but now they're aghast. They're aghast. What do you want to date him? How many times do I got to tell you this? Michael, if I not said this.
Anyway, the point being made here, right? The point being made is Dan Bongino praising Matt Gaetz over and over again. Matt Gaetz is I think Matt Gaetz is the only one that didn't get approved for Pam Bondi's position. Imagine if we had Matt Gaetz at Pam Bondi's position. Maybe we would actually have the Epstein files.
You
think so? I mean, probably not.
Probably. I mean, this is exactly the point. Is it's like What if we won? The reason Matt Gaetz, and you recall what they did, right? They soft offered him that position, so he resigns, and then they go, whoops, JK LOL, and now Matt Gaetz is out of politics. They rug pulled him from the beginning because they knew that we would demand Matt Gaetz be in there because he's part of the Freedom Caucus. And then, so they offer him the job. Then they pull out the blackmail. Then they go, oh my God, look at this. And then so Trump has the excuse to say, well, we can't go with him now. So now he's gone completely. This is what they do. They lie, they trick, they steal. And this should have been the first sign to all of you that Trump was corrupt from the beginning. Trump is not on our side. Trump is protecting Epstein. He's protecting himself. And believe me, I was one of the guys that from the beginning I don't think Trump is that badly implicated.
Apparently Melania is in there pretty deep too.
Now, I'm not surprised about that either. But it's not looking good, guys. Not looking good for old Donnie.
But old Dan Bongino wants to be all big and bad. This is in response to maybe if I spent more time at shady parties, blah, blah, blah. Matt Gaetz said, I'm glad you remember meeting me so many years ago. I recall you gave a moving speech. He goes on to say, I'm deeply proud of my father. I share the disdain for your moneyed insiders. It's why I was the only Republican in Congress who refused lobbyist and PAC donations. I didn't know that. Why are you angry at me? Because you don't like my face? This is your big white pill message against the doomers that I have a bad face. And then he goes on to say, you made a post about being a candidate for office during a Tea Party movement and twice thereafter. I didn't know that full history, so I simply asked Grog if you had won any of those elections. Apparently you underperformed as a political candidate, but you're a world-class streamer. Cool. Take a chill pill, Dan. And Dan Bongino fires back, Josh. What's he fire back with? Give me an angry Italian.
That's right, doggy. Backpedal away. Good. Wait, that's kind of Jewish. I guess I can't help myself. Oh, Tony Soprano. That's right, doggy. Backpedal away. Go move. Now go blame the Jews for your dumbass tweet. He's literally that's what it is. It's like watching Tony Soprano spit back your own political opinions to you. Here's what I would do. I'm an on the streets type of guy.
He's such a badass, dude. He's such a badass. He's such a badass. If he was in power in DC, dude, he would fix the system. He's such a badass. Such a badass on Twitter. He would definitely fix the system in DC.
All those bureaucrats, they'd be walking around without teeth because Dan Bongino, bang!
They'd be so scared.
These Italians, they don't take no shit from nobody. You know what I mean?
Dude, nothing happened. Nothing happened. Go back to podcasting. You're no better than we are. Go sit behind the desk and yell at the camera.
We have more integrity than Dan Bongino.
I want an FBI director makes them want to self-deport. Yeah. Well, you're not going to get that with the one that needs to be deported. If they need to be deported and their FBI director, well, yeah, I think he already got your answer. Stolen mob valor. Oh, dude, he's he's an Italian dude. It's like you're supposed to be mobbish,
but yeah,
you're supposed to be mobbish, but you got none of the ball sack.
Yeah, he's a Fed, by the way. He's what's his name, Agent Harris.
Yeah, I mean, let's try to shift gears here a little bit. I want to talk about. I got to bounce here in a second. I want to talk about just the Venezuela thing, the coming wars, like the future, like what's coming here in the near future. Obviously, we talked about Venezuela. We kind of discussed that a little bit. I do think it is a move towards a new world order, right? This one world government. That it will most probably be some type of American empire. But there's a couple more on the list, right? The president of Colombia basically said, "Come and get me." Lindsey Graham is wearing a hat beside Trump, cheesing away, both of them saying make Iran great again. So we're definitely going back in Iran. Who else is on the list? Cuba, Lindsey Graham talking about Cuba better watch out, we're coming. And then obviously Greenland, you have Katie Miller and Stephen Miller talking about retaking Greenland. Trump was asked about retaking Greenland. He said, give it a few months. What are we fitting within those few months before we take Greenland, Josh? Do we have to knock down Iran, Cuba, and Colombia before we take Greenland? I mean, is this the only one not in the Western Hemisphere here is Iran? What's your thoughts on that? Are we taking the entire Western Hemisphere?
I'll tell you what it is all of the people in Trump's administration find out what his plan is at the exact same time we do. He gets on the stage and he's just like, we've got a healthcare plan for next year. It's really good, but we're going to wait a little while to tell you. And he gets off stage. Get on that, guys.
Well, he was asked, who did he consult before? Did he consult Congress before he went in and took Maduro? Because this is, it's an act of war. We didn't turn off super chats. They are on pause right now because we need to do some paperwork because YouTube is gay. They're gay.
They're homosexuals.
Really, we waited too long to do AdSense, I think is what it is. Anyway, it'll be back in a couple of days. I appreciate that. You can save your super chats and then I'll offload them all at one time.
We'll do a super chat show.
Super
chats from like
make up your super chats. You got to save
prior.
Put them in your notes app. We'll address super chats all at one.
Oh, there's no backlog. That's what I thought you were saying. I thought like if they were trying to send one now,
no, it
would come up later.
Off.
I got you. Okay, all right.
Yeah, save it in your notes app and then send it all at one time.
Just send like 8 paragraphs and we'll just read them. There's like 20 topics in the whole thing.
But yeah, so we're talking about Venezuela and the Maduro kidnapping. This is an act of war essentially. And Trump was asked, who did you consult before? Did you consult Congress? Because he's supposed to. We'll defy Congress to bring the Venezuelans here, but we won't defy a district judge to send the Venezuelans there. It's like double standard much? Like, are we going to Andrew Jackson this thing or not? Like, sack up, dude. Anyway.
This is what he did. He goes, who'd I consult? Okay, so for Christmas, Melania got me this really cool thing. It's like an 8-ball, like in pool, but you shake it and it gives you an answer.
It gives you the correct answer. Yeah. And I ask it questions and it tells me. It tells me the right answer and I do it.
Should I kidnap Maduro? And it was like, yeah, go for it. And I was like, all right, cool. Thank you. Magic 8-ball. Pretty cool.
But so he was asked who did he consult? And the answer was no, he didn't consult Congress or Senate. Obviously, he consulted Lindsey Graham and Howard Lutnick, but he consulted the oil companies, Josh. That was his answer. I consulted the oil companies before I invaded Venezuela to give them the oil in Venezuela. It's like, if we're going to consult someone, let's find someone that doesn't have a conflict of interest here. You know what Chevron stock did immediately after?
I'd imagine, Zeb, they did pretty well.
That's what happened.
Wasn't Chevron was Texaco,
and
they did the oil spill.
Yeah, Texaco did the oil spill in Ecuador that they didn't cover for, which Paul Dans, that is running for U.S. Senate in South Carolina against Lindsey Graham, he was a major lawyer in that case. They lost the case. Chevron Texaco basically had to sell out to Chevron and change their name, whatever happened. And so Paul Dans is running in South Carolina because I think they are trying to. I think Paul Dans is running as Lindsey Graham, right? Big Oil is running Paul Dans in Lindsey Graham's seat so that they can retain a Senate seat, specifically in South Carolina. Once Paul Dans wins that seat, Lindsey Graham will be freed up to hold a cabinet position or some type of Venezuela ambassador position. Trump was also asked, who are we going to install to run Venezuela? His answer was, me, basically. His answer was basically, we're going to be running Venezuela first.
He's literally Dick Cheney. I've decided the best pick for VP is, of course, me, Mr. Bush.
That's basically my thoughts on that. In between now and 2 to 3 months, that we're gonna have to fit in Iran, Cuba, and Colombia before we finally take Greenland. So that's I think that's what we're ramping up to. We'll see. It's something along those lines is going to happen. We got 2026 is a year of conquering. We're going to conquer the entire Western Hemisphere. Is what it is. Boots on the ground. If you want the oil, you have to have boots on the ground. And the people saying that they don't want boots on the ground, the people that said no new war and are now advocating for taking the oil in Venezuela are hypocrites.
I just now here's another aspect of this, and if you gotta go, you show me. But here's another aspect of this that I'm loving is all of the reporting that says the Venezuelans are so happy that they're gonna go back. All of the Venezuelans that are in America, they're just so thrilled that, well, Maduro's the reason they left. So now that Maduro is gone, they're all gonna go back. Not happening.
That's not how
that
it works,
is
dude.
not going to happen.
In fact, you're going to get more refugees. What did they? What was the point of taking Maduro if we're still allowing refugees? What are they refugeeing from?
Yep.
Mm.
And we chopped off the head of the snake.
Let's since we didn't do super chats, I'll grab a couple of these chats. Zeb, I was going to ask you going to super chat you to ask if you'd read the first chapter of an allegorical fiction book I'm writing that is about what is happening to our people. May I email this? Yeah,
I would like to read that. Send it to him. I don't know if my email's public, but
DM me on Twitter or Telegram. I think the Telegram's in the description. Telegram, Discord. We have Nav Discord. We have Nav Telegram. Shoot it in there. Find me there, and we can. Is
the name of the book My Struggle?
Let's see. Any more? Somebody mentioned. Hold on. How is Casey Push doing in Ohio? He can build us cars capable of burning all that dirty oil. Zeb, in order of governor, you must have a video with Kitty P or backshots. Somebody else mentioned about the corruption at the governor level or at the state level earlier. These are all kind of one and the same question. And the Ohio race specifically, you could probably throw Florida in there too, is a canary in the coal mine. And can Casey win Ohio? I think he has the best odds out of any governor race there is to kind of flip the script on the GOP. Yes. And if Casey can't win, if Casey doesn't win Ohio, then that tells us we can't win anywhere else. Because Casey that is the baseline best chance I think that we can get. Vivek has torched his own credibility. He's quit social media, Instagram, Twitter. He's quit. And the Ohio GOP is still completely back in Vivek with as much as I can. I don't know.
It's not going to happen, but I'm almost concerned that maybe Vivek will drop out and they'll replace him. He's not, like I said, he's not going to. It's just a thought that they'll replace him with a white guy, but it's the same policies when it comes to everything. Now, it's not going to happen.
No, that's not going to happen. I mean, Vivek is necessary, right? Vivek, and we talked about this on Factions, Vivek has been put in a place and groomed to this position, right? It's the same reason JD Vance is VP right now.
Right.
They are not one and the same, but they are groomed from the same person, right? These are Les Wexner, Jeffrey Epstein, Peter Thiel. All of these connections are spider webs to JD Vance and Ohio and the Ohio River Valley, right? They need the Ohio River Valley for AI. How do they do that? Well, they facilitate it through someone like Vivek. If Vivek doesn't become governor, then you have someone like Casey that's going to reject it. How much power does the governor have? I think they have a lot in that situation. But we will see. I think Casey will win. If Casey doesn't win, I will be blackpilling. I mean,
that would be pretty upsetting.
Yeah, Vivek's torched his own credibility. He's been outed as a scammer. Dude's absolutely shit on his and all of his constituents. It's like, how do you win after that? And so,
this is the factor that concerns me most about that is the people that are invested in the Ohio race at this point in time, the primary, I mean, are the people like us, the people that care. Their play is going to be for the average tard, and they are going. They're going to smear Casey, and it's going to be a case of it's going to be what the boomer conservatives complain about with leftists, where it's like, oh, they won't listen to reason. They're not, and that's all it's going to take for the boomers is they're just going to come up with any. Oh, he's racist. He's a Nazi.
Well, they've already tried that.
Come up with any kind of thing to undermine his credibility. They're going to say, oh, he got some shady loan for his cars or something. And I'm fingers crossed it's not enough. That's what I'm scared of.
Laura says, Vivek was endorsed by the Somalis. He was also endorsed by Donald Trump. What a coalition they're building. What a coalition MAGA is building. Vivek, Lindsey Graham, Donald Trump's endorsement means nothing anymore. I would rather not have endorsement. I would rather not have a Trump endorsement at this point.
Zeb, what are you, a leftist?
I think, I mean, what's his rating at like right now? Like high 30s? Like it's miserable. Ooh, what? I had the right policies. What's wrong with the public? Why don't they agree? Well, maybe because you don't have the right policies, dude. Maybe because you fell through on so much. You fell through on releasing all of the files. All of the files. 9/11, JFK, Epstein. We got some MLK files. We got a little bit of JFK files, but not enough. Not even close. There's no wall. There's no deportations. Actually, let's cover this real quick, Josh.
The wall to me is like the biggest. That to me was like, and maybe you don't remember, but during the election on the show I worked for, that was the biggest thing. Is it's like, where is the wall talk? And I'm not even talking about where is the wall. It's why aren't they talking about the wall? We never got it. They're not even. They just don't care, dude. So there's a picture.
No, this is something you sent. This is
but
tweet that says 2,000 ICE agents are carrying out a heavily armed raid in Minneapolis as part of an immigration enforcement and fraud investigation. Let me do this.
Yeah. We don't need to watch the full video, but
if they're not deporting them all, there's no point, dude. There's no point. They'll come back. 2,000 ICE agents in Minneapolis. Do we need like 200,000? We need 200,000 National Guard. I want a couple 100,000 in every state.
We need 6 million National Guard in every state.
And I want them to deport 100 apiece, right? Well, no, that would be like 50 apiece. We can deport 120,000 people. 120 million people.
This is the thing.
Terrible
and I know
math.
we joke about this, but unironically, send big buses full that can fit a bunch of people, and you just drive down the street. And if you see someone who is Somalian, you just grab them and put them in. Don't like, well, what if they're a citizen? What if they've been here 30 years? We'll work that out later. That's their problem.
Oh, or not.
Huh?
Or not. We won't work it out later.
Or not.
Listen,
or not.
You drive down the street, you pick them up, you put them in the car. You take them to the local station where we have a bunch of buses. You put them in the bus, you drive them to the train station. You put them in the train. The trains go and drop them off at this place that we call a camp. And yeah. And then they go, and then they're not in America anymore.
They say, here's our policy. We pick up these immigrants and we put them in a location and we say, here's your next step. You can pick the Atlantic Ocean, you can pick the Pacific Ocean, or you can pick Mexico. You're going to one of these three places.
No, you got to give them.
And by Pacific Ocean, I don't mean like off the coast. I mean like we're putting aircraft carriers with Zambonis. You're gonna get on the top, and we're just gonna push.
Here's your choices. Okay?
Casey, push you into the sea. That's what we're gonna do.
Here's your choices: Guam, Cuba, or Jamaica. You pick. No landlocked state. No. It's all going to be islands. It's all going to be surrounded by water where you can't swim nowhere. Pick one. We're making prison islands, and you're going to be segregated by island. How about that?
I like it.
Easy solution.
Haiti. We're going to send you to Haiti, and it's going to be like what was that show where it was like America or like Deadliest Warrior? It was like ninjas versus pirates. Who would win? It's going to be Haitians versus Somalians. Who's going to win? Who can eat each other the fastest?
We'll call
the Haitians can get their voodoo dolls. They get the voodoo stat. The Somalians, they can get their little canoes, their little skiffs or whatever. Maybe an AK-47. Maybe to equalize the playing field, we will give Haitians hoses. We'll give them water hoses. See who wins.
Oh man. The Haitians need to go back to Africa. Anyway,
I agree.
Dude.
You like your island so much, we'll give you Madagascar, and you can.
I mean, I feel like deportation is moderate at this point.
All right, Zeb. I get where you're coming from.
I'm a moderate. I don't know what you're talking about. I feel like that's a standard position. Mass deportation is a moderate position right now, is it not? Would you disagree with that?
We're getting there. I'm not going to say it, but we're getting there. Not me. I'm a Christian.
I'm a Christian too.
I know you are, but Nick says that. He goes, we're the person you're going to wish you had in 50 years. In 50 years, they're going to be praying for someone
50.
like Ned. Okay, whatever.
It's not going to take 50.
One day, they will be begging for someone like Nick Fuentes.
Soon.
Because if you don't, yeah.
Soon. Well, this is a discussion we're gonna have Friday with me and Atlas are gonna have this discussion Friday essentially. With the me and Josh didn't even really talk about it, but it's on the list. The Fuentes and Joe Webbin interview. I thought I tweeted about it. Josh hasn't watched yet. Maybe y'all probably talking about Groper Report.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it on Groper Report.
And there's one coming out tomorrow also. I honestly thought that they were extremely, extremely moderate during that interview. Like one position that Nick's espoused before that kind of takes people by shock is like he's not pro death penalty. Like he doesn't believe in the death penalty except for like extreme cases, which isn't a Catholic position.
I agree with that. That it's not a Catholic position.
But you're pro death penalty, aren't you?
We've talked about that before where it's like
you're pro labor camps.
I'm not against the death penalty in principle, which I don't think Nick is either.
No, he's not.
But so my position is these people would be better as forced labor. I mean, that's what all of the The GOP complains about we don't have the labor.
I think
Okay,
that's
stop paying them.
anti-Christian and anti-European. I know we joke about the labor camps. I think, I mean, Europe went like 1,000 years and killed the most disorganized, not normal, murderous, rapist people. And then we get, it's eugenics. It's long-term eugenics is what it is. And I'm not against that. I think the people that need to be removed from society need to actually be removed from society if they can't be rehabilitated. And I think people that rape kids, I think people that murder other people out of spite or randomly, I got that white girl, should simply not exist in society. And the only way to guarantee not existence in society is to let God judge them.
So here's my point is whatever you would consider to be a life sentence. So something like rape, something like just spitefully, I'm just going to punch an 80-year-old woman in the head because she's white. You go to jail forever rather than being executed. You can't have kids, so they're out of the gene pool. But then they're just like a slave till they die. I'm fine with that. And that's really my point is it's like, if it were the off chance that they might be a harm to society later or execute them, then I go with execution. But as long as like lifelong prison sentences, and as Nick Fuentes says, a humane prison system so that we can keep them in there forever and use them as laborers.
So you would advocate for if you go to prison, you don't get released. It's either jail for a couple weeks or prison forever.
I mean, there's obviously, I'm not saying like 20-year sentences would be off the table, but 20-year sentences would be like for things like embezzling, depending on what it was.
Well, that would be financial crime. That would be different than violent crime, like non-existence in society.
That's my point. Is it's like if we're talking about violent crime, strong arm robbery, you're going to jail for 20 years.
Strong arm robbery.
I
guess it depends. Strong arm robbery means you're brandishing a weapon against and stealing. I
thought strong arm robbery is you don't have a weapon.
Oh.
Strong arm robbery is kind of like the undertone threat of violence. 20 years minimum. Armed robbery.
Yeah, but I feel like that's
armed robbery, life.
I feel like
breaking and entering, life.
See, I'm not down for the 20 years. I think you either get a couple weeks like punishment, like I guess essentially slap on the wrist if you do some type of like mild petty theft or something. But if you do like robbery, like big boy robbery, like grand larceny or whatever it's called, grand theft auto, that's you can't exist in society. You don't have a functioning brain. Prison. Forever. Not 20 years. Like I feel like if you send someone to prison for 10, 15, 20 years, they become not capable of existing in society to some extent. Are there exceptions? Probably. Is it worth the risk? I guess is what we're looking at here.
It's at the point where this excuse of they're desperate. No, they are not. Every advantage is given to the poor, the downtrodden in the modern era. This isn't 1500s where I stole a slice of bread to feed my baby sister who's starving to death and they cut my hand off. It's not that anymore. If you are committing crimes of any proportion, basically these days, it is because you are antisocial. There is something wrong with you and you need to be excommunicated from society, whether be it execution or life in prison. So like I said, I'm not against execution, but as long as the prison system is basically utilizing these people, A, it gives them a chance to repent, and B, they are actually repaying their debt to society.
Apparently you're right. Strong arm is no weapon.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't. I'm pretty much a prison abolitionist. If it's going to be prison, it needs to be labor camps.
Now here's my Remember, we talked about this.
I don't think those are the same thing, but
the minimum 10-year adjustment period, where it's like we are so far off the baseline, and we've talked about that before, how the Constitution works in the right circumstances, right demographics. So we need a 10-year period where it's like you get caught chewing bubble gum, we're going to cut your head off, or we're going to hang you. We're not going to do that, but we are going to hang you. 10 years where it's like basically every crime is punishable by death. You're an Indian scammer. If your body is found in the continental United States, you're going to be executed.
Nah, we just need to go take them. We just need to go take the scammers and bring them here.
Unironically support detonating an EMP over India. That just,
Trump did with Maduro.
What do they don't deserve the internet.
I don't object to what Trump did to Maduro.
No, absolutely not.
We started the show off like that.
Yeah.
Anything else, chat? Anything else? Tomorrow we will be doing factions. Thursday, Real Talk. Friday, me and Atlas will be covering Fuentes Joel Webbin things. And yeah, deport them all. Deport them all. Deport the Venezuelans back to Venezuela because they have a safe place. They have a safe place. I was talking to a Pakistani lady the other day, and she kept she was born in she came over here when she was 4. She kept referring to Pakistan as home. I was like, yeah, I can help you. I can help you with that.
I'll die for Pakistan.
She was nice. They're nice. But it's like,
yeah. There was a super like Mexican woman at a restaurant I ate at the other day, and she was like, "Oh, hola," like barely could understand her, but she was very polite. But
they can be polite over there.
That's the problem.
Maybe those are the people that need to go They need to go bring some light to the country that at least we perceive to be a shithole.
That's the problem. Is it's like, well, if we only deport the bad ones, and guess what? Where we deport them to is just going to remain.
It's going to get worse.
It's going to get worse. It's going to cause problems, and then we're going to be like, oh my god,
we should take more in.
We got to get them in.
We got to bring them back.
We have to send Abuelita home first, so she can make everything all nice and dandy for when nephew. Then she can get her slipper and start. No.
Go ahead and get the tortillas warm. Tortillas warm and slippers off.
I love it, dude.
I think that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be going live this evening. I think we're going live. If not, it'll be recorded.
You're a machine, dude.
With Owen Schroyer. Owen Schroyer at 7 o'clock Eastern. Not gay time. 7 o'clock Eastern with Owen. I think I want to, I got to put something together for him real quick. I want to discuss this MAGA split that's happening. This MAGA war. The Great MAGA War. I got to do a thumbnail real quick. I'm going to go knock that out here in a minute. Josh, anything for the people before they go? Please like the stream. Don't send us any money because you can't. Just save it for later.
Anything? Check out all of our shows. Factions, Real Talk, Groiper Report. Have you announced the name? Can I say the name of you and Atlas's show? Or is that official yet?
We haven't announced it.
Watch, what is it? The Circuit?
Yeah. It's going to call it The Circuit. The Fed Circuit. Also, shout out to... me and Alice were kind of talking, and he was talking about the circuit, the podcast circuit. And Laura DM'd me the other day and said something about the Fed Circuit. Somebody was going through the Fed Circuit of podcasts. And so it was a very... It came together. Atlas came out of nowhere, and Laura said it the other day, and I was like, yeah, that's the circuit. I think that's good. We'll be covering... anywhere from clips to reviewing podcasts, popular stuff for the day, kind of basically covering kind of the Overton window, where the Overton window is, what people are talking about, and how it's shifting the narrative. Is it shifting? Does it have any bearing at all? If we just remain inside the Overton window, does anything change, Josh?
No.
That's why we are
breaking it. Shattering
outside of it. We're outside of the Overton window. But yeah, I am ZebBoykin.
I'm Joshua Vandernord.
This is Outside the Overton. Thank y'all, and see you here in a little bit.
When you hear these leaders are very sick.
Good evening, everyone. I'm This tragedy strikes the LAPD. The coronavirus has taken the life of an officer. He had been fighting for his life since May. He was live outside St. John's Hospital in Cincinnati. The officer lost his life.
From this day forward, a new vision will govern our land. From this day forward, it's going to be America first. America first. And only America first.
And I say, really, you know what I am? I'm a nationalist, okay? I'm a nationalist.